Hello everyone, welcome back to the Angular Live project. In this video, we will do the testing of student registration API using the Postman. So in the previous video, we have created this registration API, and now in this video, we will do the testing like it is working properly using the Postman. So before that, I recommend you please install the Postman, and when you will install, it will look like this. And before that let's run this application. So once I will run this application, what it will do, it will open on the browser, and then what we will do, we will give the URL, and based on that we will insert the value inside the Postman as a post, and then we will insert the data into the database. So currently let's go to the SQL server, and when I run this query or this table, we are not looking any data. We are going to insert the data. So after running this application, it is coming to the default API or the default controller, that is weather forecast. So from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this port number or the URL. Let's copy this one. So I'm going to copy this URL, and now go to the Postman, and here when you will click on this plus sign, it will open a window, and here let's make it as a post request, and inside this one give that URL, and after that one what we have to give, we have to give our API URL. So let's copy this one and give it here. After giving this one, let's go to the body part, and from here we have to select the row, and in this we have to give the JSON, like we have to select the type as a JSON. And inside this one, what we have to do, we have to assign the value which we have to insert. So for inserting that value, like what we have the username, full name, email, and the password. So these names should be similar to this one. So username equal to, I'm going to write as a Munish, comma, and instead of equal to, it should be column as a username, and it should be in a string. And next is the full name. So let's take it as a full name, colon, I'm going to write as a Munish Sharma, and let's make this as a MS username. Let's make it as a MS. Next take is as a email ID. So I'm going to take this email ID as .NET Office 16 @gmail.com, and next we have to give the password, and password I'm going to take as a 1 2 3 4 5. So let's copy this one so we'll not face any mismatch. So after giving all this, like here I have given the URL, then I have given the property which is needed. Now when I will give a send request, so when I will give a send request, what it is saying, like 404, it is saying like we don't have like 404, basically it is not finding this request. Because here we have 2 slash, so let's remove one, and now send request. And once we send the request, we are looking like we are finding an error, the JSON value could not be converted to the system string. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to make it as a string first. Now let's give back, and here it is saying like we are getting some validation error. And what all are the validation error? It's related to the password. Like password must be at least 6 character, password must be at least one non-alpha numeric character. So it is giving some validation which is already defined by the identity table. If you want to customize your password, like you only want to give only numbers and you don't want to fix as a 6 character, for you it can be 4 or 5 character, then we can customize this thing. And for customizing this one, let's go to the Visual Studio, and here let's like stop debugging this one, and here let's go to the startup.cs class, and in this, inside the method of the configure service, we have to do, so let's write that code. So for that, like services dot configure, and inside this one, what we have to take, we have to take the identity option. So let's take that identity option, and then what we have to do, we have to take a lambda expression. So for that, like options, and inside this one we have to define. So whatever you want to do, like options dot, when you will see, if you want to make the password related changes, then password dot, then if you want required digit, then you can make it as a false. If you don't want as a digit, then you can make it as a false. Next, like options dot password dot, if you want like lowercase, so require lowercase. If you want, then fine, otherwise if you don't want, then you can make it as a false. So let's make it as a false. And if you want similar to that one as a uppercase, then you can take it here as a require uppercase, then you can make it as a false. And if you want to change the length, like currently it is 6, so if you want to change it as a required length, then you can make it as a 4, or as per your project requirement you can make it. Or another one, like if you want to make like require non-alphabet, then require non-alphabet, then you can make it as a false. So according to our project requirement, we can make changes into the password as well. So at point of this time it is done. So now let's run it again, and once we run it, what we will do, we will give again this post request. Even if you want to debug this request, then what we can do, let's go to this user model here, and if I will put a debug here, I can put a debug, and let's go to the here and give the request. And once I will give request, it will hit here, and in the model we can see like what the data is coming from there, and we can see all the data. And if I will debug this one, we will see like if we get any exception or not, so that we can get from here. So it is running. Let's do F5. Let's go to the Postman, and we can see it is giving 200 status code as a 200, and we can see currently succeed true. Let's go to the SQL server and run this application, and we can see it is inserted the data which we have given from here, like full name as a Munish Sharma, MS, and here also we can see this data. So let's go to the Postman back, and instead of this MS, I'm going to give as a dot, and here I want to make it like m@gmail.com. password is same. I'm going to make a name as a Munish. Let's hit this. So what it will do, it will insert another data to the database. So let's, and we can see currently we are having 2 users here. So this is the way of testing the registration API which we have created here. In the coming video, we will see about the login API.